Kanye West.
Yeezus!
Okay, in case you couldn't tell by the intro, we're going to be doing Kanye West, Yeezus. Before we get into this, as usual, I'm just going to give you some background information on Kanye West and how we got up to this point. Okay, so in 2001, Kanye West really started to blow up as a big producer, helping Jay-Z with such classic albums like, I don't know, The Blueprint, also Rock Dynasty, stuff like that. He was becoming really big. But Kanye had one passion, that was rapping. And in 2004, he took that passion to a reality when he released his 2004 acclaimed album, The College Dropout. And every year, he got better. 2005, he released his album, Late Registration. In 2007, he released Graduation. And really and truly, Kanye was on top. I think at this point, he had amassed a total of maybe 15 Grammys, 15 to 13, somewhere along that region. So he was king of hip hop. And then he done what I like to refer to as his first flip. Because in 2008, he released 808s and Heartbreaks. And like I've said 1,000 times, if you count it on a spectrum, if hip hop is far right, this album was far left. He was singing, there was auto-tune, talk about love and heartbreak. And really at the time, hip hop hadn't evolved to a point where it was now. So it's really dominated by gangster themes. So the fact that he came up with this, a lot of people were taken back by it. And while it is to this day one of his most polarizing albums, with people like me loving the album and other people hating it, you can't deny the impact that it had. Because of this album, we have artists like The Weeknd, Drake, B.o.o.d, and of course my personal favorite, Frank Ocean. They all came after this, with some of them directly saying that this is the album that influenced them. In 2010, he released My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Again, changing up the game. Let's just say that every good thing from each of his albums, combine it into one, times it by 10, and you get that album. So what does he do now with his 2013 release? Well, let's just say Kanye scales it the way back with his most minimalistic and experimental album to date. But enough talk, let's just get into it. Also, before we get into this, I'm going to have a special guest. He is from Alyssa L, but I'm not going to tell you, you're going to have to watch to find out. Okay, so let's get into track 1. On Site, produced by French duo Daft Punk. This song starts off with these fuzzy synths. It's really like this album is trying to find its own frequency, it's trying to find out what is it meant to sound like. And it's really good. And then, right in the middle, just as you're finally getting along, because the beat is difficult to catch at first, it's like when you're tapping your foot to a beat, but with this one, it's like, you can't actually get it because it's distorted. And just when you think you're about to get it, bang, it changes, and all you hear is this soulful choir come in for like 2 seconds just singing, and it changes again. And if this was an instrumental, I would have said what a fantastic opening. But then there's Kanye's lyrics. It's just forgettable. It's not that they're bad, don't get me wrong. It's not that they're bad, but they're just really forgettable lines. Like Yeezy season, back again, black dick, calling your spouse again. It's like, I don't really need to hear that. And on the intro, just like I said in my g.o.o.d review, you need to come out spitting fire. Give me something to look forward to. And he didn't do that, so I can only say that this track is forgettable. Okay, so let's get on to the next song, Black Skinhead. This song, produced by No ID, French duo Daft Punk, Kanye West, and if I'm not even mistaken, apparently Lupe Fiasco has a couple of production credits on this as well. This song is intense. Let's just say this, if there was a revolution, then I would want this to be playing in the background. This song, Kanye going over these industrialized drums, he is just angry. It's to the point where he wasn't actually rapping anymore, he was screaming. And the hook, I can't do the whole hook because it is long, but it pumps you up. Like, you can hear the urgency in his voice. It's almost like, you know when you're being chased and you're so close to the finish, like to getting safely home, but the thing is, whatever's chasing you is gaining on you. Yeah, that's how he sounds. So I have to say this is an incredible track, and it is the best song on the album in my personal opinion. Alright, so let's get into the next song, I Am a God. Sampling Calton, Forward Under Close. This song starts off with these really nice shooting synths and this mushed bass, again, carrying on the theme of the last song, this real urgency. It's almost like, again, it's like he's being pushed. It's like he's being forced. It's like he's rebelling, is the better term I would use for this song. And the production is just so dark and twisted, but it's the lyrics that again are a problem. This song is possibly the most hypocritical song Kanye has ever made. The hook, I am a god, but I'm also a man of God, that doesn't actually make sense. It's not even one of them ones where it's just like, what did he say? I have to think about that. It's one of them ones where it's just like, you're an idiot. Like, I didn't like that at all. But you know what? Let me get a second opinion. I've held it up for long enough. So introducing my special guest, he is...
Bird. Very special guest at that. 1/10 for the illicit area here. Okay, first of all, I just want to agree with what Mr. S.D.S has said, in the sense that this song is so hypocritical. Like, what he does with this song, it just changes what he did before. You know, it reminds me of his characteristics more than his actual musical talent. And because I don't really like Kanye, it's making me see his characteristics more than what he musically does. I do love his music, but you know, for you people out there who don't like Kanye, you're gonna see his characteristics more.
And even with this song, it's one of those ones that even if you do like Kanye, it's gonna irritate you. For example, I don't care how good you are, and even if you have the track record to back it, to be calling yourself Michael Jackson, it's a stretch beyond means. So this song will probably polarize a lot of people and even take away from the Kanye lovers.
Alright, another negative. Do you know what? There's so many negatives to this song, I don't even understand. But yeah, another negative is that I believe he's trying to forcefully split his fans and his haters.
And another thing about this song, the whole point of this song is he's talking about his haters and how they can't come up to him. But you don't talk about a song like that and then give me this type of quality. At least with my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, the haters knew they couldn't come out in the masses. That album was too critically acclaimed and too loved. But with this song, it's like you've given them the ammo they had long since thought was forgotten.
Are we on?
Oh, cool! Alright, next song, New Slave. With the production, it's like this soft bass line until these truck or mucked up synths come to start driving the song. And Kanye's at his most socially conscious on this song. He's really going at it. He's talking about these inner city problems that these black kids of this generation only seem to be caring about money and greed and wealth. But while this song is good, we have to take it with a grain of salt. And why I say this because Kanye, you just released an album called Watch the Throne. You know, the one with the cover being gold, and yet you're talking about people who only care about money. Again, you're continuing this unintentional, hypocritical theme that you have going on, and that is a problem. So while I do like the song, I just wanted to say that for you to think about it, and don't just start taking it in like Kanye fans. Like, think before you listen. Okay, so let's talk about the next song, Hold My Liquor, featuring Chief Keef and Justin Vernon. This song is one of the longest songs on the album. It's actually the second longest. Unfortunately, it's not one of the best. This song starts off with Justin Vernon singing this hook, and it's really reminiscent to the Lost in the World song by Bon Iver with Kanye West on his album, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. For example, if you compare this, I'm lost in the world, but now I'm home. I'm new in the city, and I'm down for the night, down for the night. Says she's down for the night. To this, my niggas, and my niggas, they can't control me. You say you know me, you can hear the similarities, which one is the better quality. And I couldn't help but feel this is like a cheap imitation. And then Chief Keef comes in, delivering was possibly the worst hook, not only of 2013, or the 21st century, I mean ever. It was just, shut up man, fuck your shit. I'm sorry about that. And then Kanye comes in, he does one verse, but you know, typical Kanye style, he saves it. I really do like this verse, talking about a failed relationship, and how there was just a lot of quotables, but they're not that memorable. But what I did like is the ending of the song. These electric guitars and pulsating synths really come in, And Justin Vernon, he really steps into the song. See, at the start, I felt like he was overshadowed. But with this, he steps to the front and he takes the limelight. So I'm mixed. I don't really like the beginning, but I do like the end. So I'm just with this one. But to the guys who like this song, don't worry about my opinion. You know what? Let's have a quick song. So when I say hold my liquor, you lot say good song. Hold my liquor. Hold my liquor. Fool. Do you think I can hear you? Man! Okay, so let's talk about the next song, I'm In It. This is the worst song on the album. Has so many bad quotables. If you hate Kanye West, make sure to have these lyrics posted on your wall. With lines like, I put my fist in her like a civil rights sign. This song is just... But you know what? He's back. MC Bill's on the beat. It's MC Bill's on the beat. MC Bill's on the beat. MC Bill's on the beat.
I said
MC Bill's on the beat. 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 MC Bill's on the beat.
okay, we're doing I'm In It, and I'm in this.
And don't lie, the dancing was sick.
Alright, first of all, with the start of the song, I'm just gonna agree he struggles with lyrics. I don't like the start of the song. However, moving to the second half of the song, he gets into that Jamaican influence, and I feel that this song isn't really about the lyrics. No, the start of the song he does struggle, but then moving on to the second half, I don't think it's about the lyrics at all. I think it's about that dance theme, Jamaican influence, and I think it's really about the beat of this song.
Okay, I do agree with the points you said about the song not being about the lyrics, but still, to have okay lyrics would be okay. Like, when you have lines like, eating pussy, all I need is sweet and sour sauce, nah, that just doesn't fly with me. So I don't like this one. Okay, so we can get into the next track, Blood on the Leaves. And this is the longest song on the album, sampling Nina Simone's Strange Fruit. This is a 6-minute epic about Molly, a failed relationship, money issues, lawyers. All over Kanye West auto-tuned the whole thing. I really like this song, but that's because I'm a fan of 808s and Heartbreaks. And that's also where the negative's gonna come in. This isn't as accessible as the auto-tuned song Runaway from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. He really ups the auto-tune. And it's to the point where if you didn't like 808s and Heartbreaks, you might as well just delete this, because you're not gonna enjoy it. Okay, so let's talk about the next two songs, Guilt Trip and Send It Up. I'm gonna put these two songs together for one reason. They're both rubbish. And that's really the only way you can describe them. Kid Cudi delivers this boring ass hook. He needs to stop singing forever. Like, he's just not good to me. King L, I don't know who he is, and after this I have no desire to find out who he is. It's just lackluster songs. I feel like they were fillers, just there to make the album a bit longer. Okay, so let's get on to the last song in the album, Bound 2. Now for those of you which are the Kanye elitists, the ones who've been saying Kanye's never been able to match The College Dropout, you're gonna love this song. Because it's the same style as production that he had on The College Dropout. That really soulful, sped up sampling. Yeah, this is it. Charlie Wilson does the best feature on the album, just wailing out these amazing riffs, clean, it was fantastic. And Kanye, lyrically, this song could have made it on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That's how good it was to me. And it's a great way to end the album after a couple of lackluster tracks. Okay, so we can get into the positives about the album. My 3 favourite songs on the album, Bound 2, Black Skinhead, and New Slaves. They're really some amazing songs. And what I do like is the way Kanye promoted this album. I personally think it's genius to promote your music video around the world on different objects, blocks, houses, flats, statues, buildings. That's just really creative and genius, and very genius actually. So thumbs up for him for that. Okay, but the negatives, there's a lot. One negative, he did not match My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Now I understand, you're not going to try and make another one of those albums, because you can't, you have to shift away from it, otherwise people are going to compare the two. But this is just lazy. And another thing is that I see a lot of people saying Kanye's really creative and innovative for this style. Like, this style's been around for quite a while now. if you listen to Death Grips, if you listen to Shabazz Palace, and if you listen to Billy Wood, they're more abrasive, more experimental than this. Kanye basically just took that style, watered it down, and tried to give it to a mainstream audience. And while I respect him for doing that, doesn't mean he done it well. So this is a letdown. So let me give you my overall thoughts, which I've just done actually. So let me just give you the score. This is a 6.5 out of 10. Unfortunately, he had the right idea with trying to shift away from his old album, but he just didn't do it well. So let me just also add in Bird so that he can come and say his final pieces on the album as well.
Alright, what's up? So my overall thoughts on the album is that there's just very little positives. I mean, talking about the positives of an album, to say how you promoted the album, it's not that amazing, to be honest. And now moving on to the negatives, there's just so many negatives that this, in my opinion, cannot be a great album. I will agree, a 6.5 will be my rating.
Okay guys, thank you for watching. Please comment, rate and subscribe. And then Mr. S.D.S.
Miss Bird.
And we're out.
You gon' remember how to forget.